Hello everybody, and welcome to Dungeons 3. This game came out yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It was a bit weird on timings, because they are in a different time zone than I am. I think it came up around 6 or 8 PM during my time. But I've had this game for quite a while. My review is now up on Envision Community, so if you want to find that, just type in exclamation point review in the chat, and Nightbot will give you the link to it. And you should be able to do that throughout the day and until my next review goes up. I also did a preview of this game even longer back, which you can also find on my my profile as such. And I thought we should a bit of a show for the game. They've had some streams beforehand showing off the missions and such, and as you can see, as the map pans around everywhere, I have completed the game, and I've got gold in most of them, because you can see there's like a border around them. This is like a grey, kind of silvery colour, and then the gold ones are ones you've completed all the additional challenges for. So for this one I have to take no damage to my base, as well as sacrifice more heroes than I need to. It's something like 100 more heroes. Then go through them. I've gold, I think about half of them at this point. There are some that require you to do like timed things, or not allowing a certain thing to happen, so like this one, you can't have deliveries reach the city. Though some of them don't always work. Oh no, it did pop, never mind. But rather than jump into the campaign, which I think a lot of you might want to do after seeing some of the game, I thought we should do a bit of skirmish. And I did Overfieldville before on skirmish mode, and it was alright. The dungeon itself is rather large, because there's a map size of 10, and I'm pretty sure the dungeon is the same size as the map above. So this time I'm going to go through Average-ton, which has a bit more of the way of like bases. At least they're more concentrated towards coming towards the dungeon itself. And as a skirmish before, it was kind of too straightforward, and I ended it under an hour. And for most of the missions in the game, you're normally spending upwards of an hour to do them. So I think I'll go for a survive this time, where I basically have to survive 20 waves on the map. I think, yeah, that changes the map somewhat. Yeah, it changes where my dungeon hole is. I'm going to go for normal difficulty, because that's the difficulty of the main story, but you can go up to Hellish, which I have not tried. Well, not on skirmish, I've tried it on the campaign. It's also easy, but you don't really need easy if you know how to play. If you've not played an RTS or a Dungeons game before, easy should be where you start. Because there's a lot of stuff to micromanage. Resources at the start, it's just basically the resources you start with. The fiery orb is evilness, which is what you need to unlock upgrades for your units and buildings. It's used for a few other things, but we'll get to that. And then gold, which is what you spend to build rooms, hire units, pay your units, as well as upgrades as well. And then available resources, just the amount of nodes that are in the mine, as well as just deposits as well. And then surprises are when you're digging in the dungeon to expand or to make traps, you'll find rooms in the dungeons pre-made or pre-excavated. So, like it says, you'll find a spider cavern or a bunch of worms. Sometimes you'll find trapped heroes or heroes that are just mining. And in the campaign, you can actually find another dungeon entrance. However, that you'll need to unlock that through the overworld. And then around the parameters, just all the dungeons are pre-generated. Well, yeah, they're pre-generated, but you can choose the seed that you use for them. Of course, you can play co-op, but I want to play co-op right now. Co-op just basically works that one person does all the micromanaging underground, whereas another person controls the units above ground, which would make the game a lot easier. Because a lot of time is spent micromanaging, and you'll lose out on valuable time that you could be using to use your units to take over the overworld. Because you will need to take over the overworld, as you'll need to take over fonts of evilness, or islands of evilness. I normally call them fonts because a lot of the time you're taking over fountains. And my dungeon might look a bit different to yours because I have some of the theme packs. This is the demon one, so I've got a lot of portals and purpleness. And we have one entrance, which is great. So first off, you want to just start digging so you can start making out some rooms. It's just a simple drag and drop kind of thing, and we're going to want to get units starting production. And I like going for what you call them, demons, mainly because you can use mana to always have enough of them. But I also need a gobbler farm. This is basically your food for your units. And you only start off with 5 of these little snots. They're basically your workers. They do all of the building in the underground. And if you want them to speed up, just whack them with right click and they'll speed up. So first up, we want a gobbler farm. And we need actual units to start essentially making workboxes so that you can build stuff. So we'll also build over here just so we can find a gold vein somewhere. Besides finding the gold veins, you can also just dig out this gold that's here. But you want to keep some money on you because we've got surprises turned on, so we might dig into a room that has hostile units. And you find you just keep smacking your snots. They take a bit of damage, and now you can hear the battle music, but you know, I don't think you're meant to hear the battle music. It's just you're slapping them, so it sees them as taking damage. That's a lot of gold here. Ah, here we go, gold vein. So this one, this is basically a node or a vein, and it has a lot more of the resource you're trying to mine. It's mostly just going to be gold. I've never found a mana vein, and I don't think they exist. So basically, you want your snots to gather around this, and then 4 snots can mine this at a time. And it's basically, think of other RTSs where you have to build like mines or the Tiberium farms from Command & Conquer. And you can only hold so much money in your vault, and if you try and put it in there, you'll just drop it on the ground, so you want to spend a bit of it. And right now, I'm just spending the money to make some more snots. Just so they can get to doing this a bit quicker. Alright, now that then this, we'll make a treasury around this so that they don't have to keep walking all the way back to the main base. Basically, they'll just drop the treasure on the ground for you when they've finished mining it as such. I'm just going to turn up the volume a bit because I notice Dungeons is a bit quiet right now. There we go. Just as the very Lord of the Rings tunes are kicking in. Alright, now that that is done, we need to get a hideout because we need normal units to make us toolboxes. Toolboxes need to be in a 3x3 room, as well as one space just to store them. And as long as they have work to do, the snots will keep walking around. You'll find later on when you're not building and you haven't found enough gold veins. Oh, there's another one down here. They'll just stand around, which you don't want to do. This game is all about the time, and if you're not spending it wisely, you're going to get your ass handed to you. So get that down, and then get 2 of these machines down. And for each square, you're going to be able to store 2 toolboxes. And these machines take up your squares, so you need to have the machines to make them as well as the space to store them. And you can see this guy doesn't really have much to do, so he's just fancying up the environment by nailing down like stuff to do with your rooms. So right now this is just a horde area, so it looks very horde-like with just skulls and metal and very square furnishings. And then pressing in, you can hire units. You want the top row for building in here. For the toolboxes, you'll have little snots, make those, and then you can use the toolboxes to make traps. So you want to have your horde feeding into it. But right now the little snots are working on this for us. And while they are working on that, we can set to work on making a room for our demons. How big's an arcane? 3x3. And just like the workshop, you'll want spaces for yourself to store mana. You got some people coming in. We don't really have anything set up for mana right now, so we're just going to have normal horde units. And basically you'll have your orcs, which are your tanks. They have an ability to draw aggro off a target. And then your imps are the DPS people. They'll do the most damage, as well as having an ability to hide themselves. And in the dungeon, all battle is automated. You can't control them besides picking them up and dropping them, which is a bit hard to do at the start. So we got probably set up. We're just going to be using these guys. And since we're on a survive, we're going to have a hero portal spawning in to our base soon. Which means there'll be a portal opening up just somewhere in one of these squares. We have to go find it and destroy it. But if we don't destroy it quick enough, heroes will just keep pouring through. In the beginning, it's rather easy to deal with them. However, you cannot really set up traps to save yourselves against portals, because it could just spawn in your room. And here's the first wave.
Just wait.
And I'm just dragging and dropping the units into there. And they're fine, they destroyed the first portal. First portal is always easy, because it's just the same amount of units to be fighting, because that was just one apprentice, one gunner. The apprentice is just like a mage of sorts. And going to get our Arcanum down. And every room has a certain efficiency, which is basically the speed at which they work or produce whatever the building makes. So if you hover over a room, this Arcanum is only 20%, because it has so much room that is not being used. You really want to have your rooms enclosed with walls and doors. And you'll start to see the efficiency go up as they finish off these last few squares as you have a complete room. And you normally end up with 90% if you don't have a door, because you need to have some way for people to get into the room itself. And with that we have 90%, which is a good amount of speed. We just have to wait for the snots to mine out all of our gold for us. And now that we have a place for us to store mana, they'll go around, pick it up, and drop it into the Arcanum itself, which has a storage of 850, but that will go down because we're going to be putting in what are they called? Mana Shrines, which would basically allow any demon to go up to it and charge up our mana for us, as we need mana to revive demons as well as cast spells. Kind of reminds me of not Pandemonium. I've forgotten what the other game was, but it was on PS1 where you played as basically a shaman woman. But you basically need people to pray to you. Now it's a bit of a waiting game as we allow our gold to pile up. Do we have any idle snots? Doesn't look like it. We only have 7 of the things, which you can see up here. So we'll have 4 working that and then 3 working this. As well as a snot or 2 working in the workshop, as they'll keep making you toolboxes until the place is filled up. They have a sort of hierarchy in what they'll be doing and what they feel is important, and toolboxes seems to be near the top of that list. You can also pick up any snot you want. That's a dead body. And you can just say, I don't want you doing that, I want you to mine this or something. Or I want you to create this mana shrine, and they'll start to work on it. So right now he's working on this instead of running over to the other one. And just like with mining, you can slap them to make them craft just that little bit faster. And now we have our first mana shrine, so we can pick up someone we don't like, put them down here, and say, we don't need you anymore.
Payday.
Now we have a room free. There was a guy complaining about not being able to sleep, but now there's room for him. And we can start getting our imps in production. Imps will be our first demon unit. You can see they have a little portal here. And since we have a mana shrine and arcanum, he goes straight to making us some mana, which you can see at the very top. It tells you how much you're getting, how much you can hold, as well as if you hover over this room, it'll also tell you the same. And we're going to keep wanting to get snots in, just so we can keep building and mining for gold as quickly as possible. As well as expanding the dungeon itself, as we can't just survive off what we have right now forever. Now we're going to build ourselves a trap room, which we don't really need in this setting, but it's always good to have in case we do get invaded from topside. Got another gold vein over here, which would be good. Once we get more snots, we can tell them to work that as well. And this gold vein was kind of in a poor position. I could have probably just made the Arcanum somewhere else, but this is just going to stay there. I won't be able to put a treasury around it, so they will have to keep walking back and forth. And we've got some more money. You, don't want you, so you can go away. And I don't want you, so you can go away. will free up some space to get 2 more imps, and we can start going topside, as you don't need that many imps to really attack the overground. You can kind of use them to mess with the AI somewhat. So we'll keep our core units down below, just in case we get attacked, and we'll have these guys try and rush back if we are attacked. It's always good to leave a unit or 2 behind, just so you can slow down whatever it is attacking you. This is how you want to mess with the AI. You want to attack them and then move back, because if they try and attack you, they will miss. They have certain places they are allowed to roam in. And since these are ranged units, they can attack outside of that range. Every so often, you'll have a very hard unit you just have one-on-one battle with, and just keep moving that unit he's about to attack away. And we're going to have another portal open up soon, so we're just going to keep an eye on that. See if we can kill this guy before the wave starts to be in trouble. Looks like it spawned in our workshop. You can see by the red dots on the minimap. These warriors are giving us some trouble. And they killed our ogre, so we're going to want to go back. I want to kill this veteran because it will give us a bit of XP. There we go. Portal, open that up. You can open up spells of C. And we're going to want to get our people over here. Your units will kind of understand there are battles happening, so they'll try and run towards where the battles are occurring. And these guys did fine, so we'll pick them back up again and put them back to work outside. And as you can see, while we were gone, that remaining warrior was trying to destroy the portal, which they can do. They just got to smack it, apparently. That's how portals work. And while we have about 7 minutes of free time to do what we want outside, we'll just continue exploring. And yeah, I need to take these guys back to our base to get rid of this portal. Otherwise it's going to keep spawning people. We don't want them to happen. They don't get XP for that, sadly, but it's fine. We can do without that little bit of boost they would give. As you can tell, these two halves work really well together. However, you have to really keep an eye on your minimap when you're not in your dungeon.
It was cold in the cold, insensitive Evil's dungeon. The creatures demanded warm pullovers.
And there's the narrator. He talks a bit less in skirmish mode, maybe because he's not telling you to go fight this unit or build this room as a tutorial. And our units are starting to get to the point where they're not going to be able to level up anymore, because every unit in the game only levels up to level 4, and to go past that point you need to construct additional rooms. For the demons, you need to build mana baths, which is basically they sit in a bath full of mana to laze about, feel nice, soothe in the mana to make themselves stronger. And you'll need to unlock those through the tech tree, which you need evilness for. Which is why I'm attacking this fountain. And like I said, I call them fonts because they're mostly fountains. And that's now turned into an island of evilness, which will tell you here. New island of evilness. And this basically provides us with evilness every minute or so. And taking it over gives you just a big dump of evilness at the start just to get you going. There's another one here, but these are a lot harder units. As you can see, they have a lot more kind of chevrons in their health, and they are killing my demons. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one until I get these guys a mana bath going. And once demons die, they just return to the base to get healed through mana, which is why you want to keep some just in stock. And now we are getting some of this in. We can unlock the mana baths, which is Chamber of Relaxation. And already, heroes are wanting to attack our Island of Evilness, which we're going to have to keep an eye on. And we just stumbled across some more heroes. And you can tell by the names and the number of health they have how strong they are. And they have a lot of strong units in there, so I'm just going to leave those be. And instead attack these heroes trying to attack my island. Just like before, we're going to try and pull them away. However, these are travelling units, so they continue to follow you. You can get a bit more hits on, but we're mainly wanting to keep them from attacking our island as long as possible, just so we can get more evilness going. And this guy's just working on that for us while we were gone, so we can just build ourselves a mana bath here, so we can get these guys to go above the level 4. There's not too much else we need to spend our evilness on right now. Could spend it on this to increase the amount of creatures we can have, so we can spam some of these imps.
You have lost one of your islands of evilness to the enemy.
Taking back the fountain from us. That's fine. We can now have a room of relaxation. And along with that, we can also hire us some more imps and work our way to getting that fountain back, as well as getting our new imps some experience. And as you can see, we have no goblins left, so we need to increase the farm size. You can't really work these people around when they're moving about outside. It's mainly if they're guarding a place. And I always find it best just to attack the rangers, the rogues, and the apprentices, because the guards don't do much damage. They're mainly there as a tank, but you can stop them being a tank by not attacking them, because they're mostly there to take pain away from their allies. While they're fighting him, I will expand this farm. This is where micromanaging gets into it. When you have problems in the underground, you've got to keep an eye on them whilst taking over the overworld. And we've got 30 seconds to try and take this island back. Should be a bit faster, because as these guys level up, their damage will go up. So right now, level 3 does 2 times 50, whereas the guy who's level 1 only does 2 times 30.
Payday.
And while your units are topside, you don't have to worry about paying them or feeding them. It does it as soon as it becomes relevant. So there you see the gold pop up above their heads. Oh, we need to go back because it's spawned. No, we've got some time. Thankfully, they spawned right next to the entrance, so it takes them a while to get to actual base itself. So yeah, they take the gold and the food straight away. So it can be a bit troublesome when you don't have enough gold, because they can go on strike when they're above ground, which you don't want happening. So while we're doing this, we're just going to buff these guys, make a portal and go back as quick as possible, just so we can deal with these guys when they pop in.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Ouch!
And you can tell them to attack a specific unit by right-clicking that unit and slapping it, just like you would your snots. But in the beginning, you're fine to just leave them to do what they want. So you guys need to come over here and destroy this portal for me. Yep, they've destroyed that. And while I'm back down here, also want to just increase the size of this goblin farm again. And make some more imps. Now we've got a few imps, we can now have another mana shrine going. Just so they're not just walking around or sitting around doing nothing. And we've got to wait for our evenness to go up. As the next thing I would like to build is a trap room. And since we're doing survive, the traps are not going to be as useful, but you can still create a kind of kill room for people come through the entrance up top, or if the portal spawns in a very good place. And besides that, we want to have traps because a door is considered a trap, and we want doors to increase efficiency of rooms. And we have a few snots extra, so we need to put treasure around this one so they don't keep walking away from it. Keep building this room out so we keep getting snots making. Not snots, gobblers, that's it. As you can see, there's plenty of people saying, I'm not going to work until I get food. But since we're expanding this, that should be sorted soon. And we can now get a guard room, which allows us to get Tinker's Cavern, and we can now make traps. And you don't need extra spaces for these, because this room doesn't store anything. It's just for building, and for this room you need to have horde units, so like the imps and orcs, who were bravely sacrificed in the beginning. I think we still have one. Yes, we do. However, he's angry he doesn't have enough food. And for the time being, we can just fill this place up. It just so it increases the efficiency. And you can't block off areas, so right now I'm trying to fill this square in, and it was red, now it's green, because I've made a way to get it over there. Now we can increase this efficiency up to 90%, so this will produce gobblers a bit faster. Once this guy's done, we can start making some doors. to make that go a bit faster as well. Come on, make it. There you go. And now by pressing T, we can open up traps, which apparently are doors. And you're going to want to put doors anywhere you're crafting something. So you don't really need it in the hideout, but the higher efficiency for that means they will heal faster. And it just looks nice. So we need 2 doors because there's 2 holes here to make the workshop go faster. The same for the Tinker's Cave. And we want to wall off the gobbler farm just so it makes chickens and gobblers faster. And you don't need it for the vortex because they don't heal in there. Demons heal passively and their revival speed is not increased. But you will want it for the Arcanum so they can produce mana faster. And the Chamber of Relaxation so they can bathe faster. But again, if you're above ground, that doesn't really come into play. And we need some more work boxes, so these guys gotta hurry up. And while we wait for this, get some more snots just so they have work to do. And we're gonna go top side with our demons. So you can get that other island of evilness. Now we have a few more units, we can try and go for that top one again. And now you see that Gobbler has turned from red to white, which means I'm now producing enough for the units. However, that can mess up when you're going topside, as they are fed immediately. So we shall soon see if that's fixed itself. And there's no real point doing the back and forth of these units, because we're fighting ranged, and these guys use arrows that slow your movement speed. So even if I did move them back, they're just going to be slow, and it's just going to be better off if we just move them back and forth. And now we killed the ranged units, we can do the back and forth with the thieves. And this guy's been shot, so he's going to be slow. Try to do this before the portal becomes a problem. That's in the Gobbler farm, which is kind of bad because it's near the dungeon heart. Done that, go back. Ah, good, they've done the door beforehand, so they'll have to break through that, which they broke through easily. But it gave us a few extra seconds to get back. And we want to pick up Talia, just so we can get her in the room itself. And she has a spell that hits more units. And that's done with. And you got enough boxes for another Tinker's Machinarium, however you pronounce the word. Machinarium? I've never heard the word said, so I don't know how to pronounce that. And since we have 2 of those, we need 2 imps to work them. Our mana's fine for now, so we can go back topside when these 2 get revived. And speaking of which, we need to give them some more room. Because each demon needs a portal to basically revive in. It's like their bed. And if we lost those units because they didn't have a place to revive. That's a pain. But it should have been at the level 1s, which I think it was. So now we can build this room up, just so we can have more demons on the go. put some doors at these stairs, just so we have another kind of part of security. And it'll give these guys some work to do. It looks like we're going to need to expand this place. Evenness is piling in there, so we can have a lot more units. Replenish our stocks of imps, since we lost 2 of them. And let's go back outside with these guys. Did I not place down a pool? Yeah, I used a portal to come back. I don't know where the portal was gone. Oh well, we can just throw them outside. It might be faster that way. Oh, there's heroes on the way. They must have destroyed it. These are mostly just to attack your base itself. And they just attack anything above ground. But that is evil. Morning, Sniper. How are you today?
Payday.
Where those heroes go? They're going around? I think those heroes duped me. They went around. And one of the veins is gone, so we shall expand the Gobbler Farm. Yeah, the heroes duped me. Go for the ball.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I'm doing alright. Sadly, there's no D&D today. We didn't have enough people to play it, so I'm just doing this instead. Also want to sell this treasury just so they're not walking over here every time to dump gold, because that just wastes time. I want to dump it somewhere else. Yeah, this is really interesting, unless if you're into RTS games. I was always a fan of Command & Conquer and stuff, so this suits my tastes. We'll also want a door here. Need to wall off a bit. So we can expand the Gobbler Farm. And that should be enough to satisfy their needs.
Uh-oh, you better say. I can feel the crash coming on.
Alright, I'll quick save. Now you can see the narrator does come up with some good advice, like saving your game. There are plenty of times I forget to save and then the game crashes or I die. It's also very very comedic in the actual game itself. You're hungry? I'm making chickens. If you want, let's get some more spells. So now, when I press C, I have this magic room, which adds 100%. So now it's 180%. You can do that to any room with reduction to make things go faster. You do like RTS games, you just have the patience for them. Yeah, RTS games especially, this one, require a lot of patience, because you just gotta wait for things to be built, and wait for money and gold to be mined for. And now we've got this, we can set up some traps. Lovely, lovely traps. And for this, we're going to make a very long line, as we're going to make a rolling boulder to kill any heroes. And we got a portal. Nice, we were in the same room. We need to get the guys who are not in here to help. Oh, there's two portals. That's a bit concerning. Just keeping an eye on the things just so I can pick people up if they're about to die. Oh, there's 3 portals. That is concerning. Jeez.
Just wait.
Don't die. I need you to be alive. I also want to keep an eye on my imps, because... No, not the imps, the goblins, because those are the people crafting for me. I don't want them to die. And they succeeded. Though my imps took a lot of damage, and a few of them died, I think. Yeah, I lost 3 imps in that battle. So I've got to wait for them to replenish themselves. And from that spell, the goblin situation is fine. Just gonna do a once-over of the place, just to make sure I didn't miss any portals. Alright. And I found a tome. Oh, it's an epic one. Nice. So for this guy, I gave it to him, and that's going to increase his health. So he now has 18,040 health, whereas a normal one has only 920. So he pretty much doubled his health, which is great. The epic tomes are amazing. You can get ones for health, for damage, for defense. You can get ones that don't require the room to get upgraded. Some of them are for speed boosts. Some of them craft a bit faster. And I'm going to want to get a lecture hall, as that's what you need to build to basically upgrade facilities. And I think I'll do it off this way. I'll wait for that, I'll just keep upgrading just so money keeps coming in. And smack the snots just so they work faster. Well, lovely, we found some crates. Just put them in there. This guy's almost mined up to the top. And we've come across a surprise in the form of dragons. Dragons are one of the most annoying. Mainly because they have a lot more health and do more damage. I don't know if they're resistant to fire. It would make sense. Basically, these are rooms you've got to deal with because these creatures will attack your units and your dungeon heart. And if you don't kill all of them, they will keep spawning in a room. So as you can see right now, it tells that this is a dragon room. So you've got to kill these guys until this room becomes not a room. And now it's gone, they will no longer spawn. You mostly have to worry about stuff like worms and spiders, because they actually have hives that you have to destroy as well. And I put a rolling stone here. So heroes have to go all the way along this long corridor, and as they do, a rolling stone is coming towards them. However, they need to be forced to go this way, so I need to create a path over here and then block off the other one. Like so. And then need to block that, so they are forced to go down this long corridor. It also helps because they got to spend time going along the long corridor as well. And this is only really going to help for people coming up from topside. The portals just open up randomly like you've seen, so this is not going to help me with the portals at all. They should have been finished digging up this room. Yes, so we can put down the lecture hall. And I think I saw, yep, a tome. Oh nice, another life improvement, but this is just an improved one, not an epic one, so it's not going to be the best. You have that. So he's a tough guy, he's at home 1170. Whereas another number 3. I can't compare, but this guy only has 640, so it's a good increase. And now the rolling stone is prepared. You can also make like crashes that spin around to do damage as well. However, that will kind of change the direction they move, so I don't really want to do that. Nice, we got a lecture hall got up. So now when we go into our tech tree, we click on anything, we can now do upgrades. And first up, I would really want to do these storage upgrades. You basically increase how much you can store in a certain room, which is great for mana and boxes. It's also good for the research because you can only hold so many scrolls, which is basically your upgrades, for the amount of room you have in your lecture hall. Doing this upgrades the amount you can have. Or you can just make this room bigger, which I will do. Fit another 2 of those. These guys are just kind of like running in space for some reason. And we'll just mine out this area to see if we can find any more tomes or ore veins.
Payday.
And with those, we can also unlock new traps, which I want the tar pits. And since I unlocked the storage, I now have 1800 that I can store in here, which is great. So we need to make the lecture hall a bit bigger, just so we can do more research at the same time. I want the vault door and the crusher. Basically, the vault door is a normal door, but it has more health, but opens slower. The normal doors are not strong enough for attacks, really. Alright, this guy's spawned over here. Alright. Come on, drop in. There we go.
For the absolute evil!
And we're going to want to use Meteor Shout, which I unlocked, which basically knocks them down as well as doing damage. And it's great because it's 200 damage, so it kills most of the weaker heroes. And it just stuns them, so that means they can't hit us. And that was only one portal. Maybe it's just a strong portal every 5. Ah, nice, we've got a diamond vein. These are basically veins of gold that never run out. They are amazing. And I found another one over here, which is great. Means I can just set up a very large treasury down here and just keep the snots working on them forever. It helps your gold production immensely. And looks like we've got some heroes going to one of our fountains. So we shall do with that. Send you guys out there. While we're doing that, I want to also increase the gold you can store in a treasury, because that will help a lot, considering we've now got diamond veins. We want to have them spending as little time as possible moving to put down the gold. We killed those easy enough, and plenty of levels going around. Now let's move those guys over there, and whilst they are doing that, make a large treasury room for this place. And the same for this one. It does cost a bit of gold to make the treasury, but you'll make it back so quickly when they don't have to move to place this gold. Because like, they have to run all the way down this long corridor just to place the gold down on the ground. There's a hero base here, and if we destroy this, it will reduce the amount of units they can produce to attack us. And it doesn't look like there's too much of a problem in there. They have 5 apprentices, which is just normal mages, a priestess, which is a stronger novice, so they can heal for longer and more health, and a stone guard, which has more health. And it's just another tank, really. Want to take care of these apprentices because they do lightning strikes, which hit more than one demon at a time, which is very painful. Then after that, the priestess, because she's the healer. If I just attack the stone guard, she's just keep healing it. And now the stone guard. And since it's a 1-on-1 fight, we can just have our unit who is about to attack move away. But he also has a stunning, like the other guards do. And if he gets that off, I won't be able to move the units because they're stunned. Since they're all dead, we can now destroy this building and stop their production. And when we destroy things, just like the Islands of Evilness, it makes the world around it turn dark, dreamy, on fire, and evil. As weeds and dark trees start to sprout up. There's a group of stronger targets here. And we're not going to be able to kill these. We'll try and get one of the priestesses down. And we did, so that guy gets a lot of XP, but we cannot deal with that type of force just yet. And the Majesty of Demons, if they die, it doesn't really matter. As long as you've got mana, they can always come back. And when they come back, they'll start to make more mana. And at this point, you don't really need to worry about them dying, because they're just going to come back. And now we can go to work on taking heroes for ourselves. but we need quite a bit of research to do this. So we got all the research required. Let's get to making us some undead hordes. We'll want it close to this kill area just so we can move them fast. Put it there. Come on guys, speed up. Okay, so first up we want to have a graveyard. And then we want a prison. Working on that, we can also do the teleport. This will allow your snots to basically teleport towards whatever you're telling them to do, which speeds up time a lot. While we're doing that, we'll need one Banshee and one Succubus, and the rest can be imps. And in this place, we want to have a torture chamber, which you don't have enough money for, so we can just wait for that. And by the time this is done, we'll have plenty of corpses to put into the prison. Just got to wait for where this place is going to pop up. Where is this? Here? Alright.
Just wait.
And that was easy enough. We lost, was it 2? Just the 1, that's great. And now they've got corpses. You can see the snots dragging the corpses. Well, they're not really corpses because they're just unconscious. They're going to drag them and put them in the prison. And if they spend enough time in a prison, they will become undead servants to us. However,
after a little personal tasting session, you'll be pleased to hear that the beer in your breweries is not too bad at all.
don't have a brewery, but it's nice to hear you having a good time there, narrator. The torture chamber is where we can keep any of these and turn them into our allies. So we want to have the Stone Guard because he has a lot of HP. Whereas these two, they can just die and then become zombies or skeletons. And to turn this guy, we need a succubus, which we've already got. So you have fun with that guy. Of course, like other rooms, we want doors just to increase their speed. And then just so that these people don't stay dead when they die, because they only have one life. Once they die, like normal units, the heroes will not get revived. So we want to have this place with defibrillatory mats, which will revive any unit when it's killed. It doesn't matter if it's a horde or a hero. If you have a defibrillatory mat, they will be revived. And as you can see there, our snots are now teleporting to wherever we need them. And as you can see, the succubus is just whipping this guy to make him on our side. Which I don't know if it works, but... or whatever the heroes are into, I guess.
It's payday.
Oh, and this vein has ended, so we'll sell this place. Just so they're not having to walk all this way. And put it in the bigger treasuries down here. These guys can go back to work mining this. As you can see, our money's kind of like a brownish red colour. That means you have not a lot, and you don't have enough for your payday. You can see the payday is 1,226. We only have 321. Just expand the gobbler farm a bit because we are getting more units. However, as they are doing this, we are not making money because they're all just knocking down the walls for us. We'll wait for all that and the money to come in. Let's go back out and get the other Island of Evilness, as well as clear the heroes on the way. And I've run out of money to fund these guys, so just got to wait for the snots to mine the diamond veins. Cannons are very painful because they hit a wide area and it does a lot of damage. So you want to really go for the turrets themselves or kill the gunner before they can place them down. And here's another fountain with a rainbow of goodness and everything. Now it's time to make it an evil head with blood river. You can see the heroes are very courageous, going up to a whole army of imps. Well, it's not a river of blood, but it's a river of lava going into green slime. Alright. And you can see the map all turning to darkness. So it looks like there was only 3 places of heroes. But there are a few camps dotted around, which I need to get rid of as well. And while they are moving, increase the size of the gobbler farm. So there's a camp right here, who I couldn't destroy before. I'm stronger now, and have a full army. Use some spells, make this a bit easier. There's also a cooldown on them, so you can't just spam the spells, because Spell and Meteor will be too powerful. But you do get some spells later on you can kind of quick cast. Really, you can't go that way? What's blocking you here? Maybe it used to be trees. Ball's coming up, so we'll get the demons back home. Pick them up, ready to drop them where the portal's shown up. And we've got some skeleton archers ready. As they'll have a little room here.
Take that!
That was easy enough, and that's more heroes to put into the prison, to turn into undead, as well as my allies. We can also improve the success rate of this, as heroes can be very strong, because as you can see they have a lot of health as well as abilities. And we now have the maximum units we can get, so I might as well hire the rest in imps.
It's payday.
We've got a nice little mage we need to convert there. I don't care about this gunner, he's at very low level, and that warden is very low level. I don't want them, they can just be skeletons. Lovely Snot's mining out the diamond ore for me. Also want to see if I can find any more rooms. And there's a room right here because it wouldn't let me build, so I've got to keep an eye on that. And let's get some more mana capacity. And gold capacity. Yep, there's a room with a tome. Damage bonus epic. Lovely. You, number 7, you have that. So what's your damage? 2 times 180? Alright, and what are you? You are 2 times 80. That's lovely. That's a... Yeah, it looks like the epic are just doubling their bonus. There's no mana pool? Probably have to expand this room. A new area. Is this just an empty area? Oh no, there's a tome. Explosive demon attacks legendary. The demons near the creature can trigger a damaging explosion. That sounds amazing. You, Sladulek. You be Sladulek the explosive, or the demon booster. Since my troops are mainly demons, that is great. Increase the size of this room. And I can just pick this up myself just to speed it up, since they'll have to walk all the way if I don't. I think something's going to be there because it's a weird shape. We're going to need to improve this because I have some more demons. This is only storing 9 of them. Let's make sure I can see all the exteriors so I'm not missing anything. We're going to want to mine all this out anyway, because there will be hidden rooms, even if you can see into there.
Payday. Hopefully no one has arachnophobia. A spider nest has been discovered.
Oh, send in the army of imps. And we got our first hero that's been converted.
Spiders have spread throughout the underground.
Ah, it's lovely with all those bonuses. So many explosions. I've also got my own evil cannon.
Ouch! Ouch! Lead me to the battle.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Why is there spiders here? Go, save the dungeon heart. I thought I'd just killed all the spiders. Oh, we had 2 nests. Okay, that'll be why. Yes, you can even throw meteors underground, because magic. Let's upgrade the Sinister. Well, unlock the Sinister Laboratory. It allows us to make magical toolboxes, which you can make to create stronger traps and such.
Payday.
Got enough room in there now, so I don't have to worry about having beds for demons.
There are countless spiders pouring out of a room that was accidentally unearthed. Disgusting. Today is the Absolute Evil's birthday. His creatures knew, of course, but the last well-wisher's screams still haunt their dreams.
So I've explored most of the place. I just need to take out all the walls, see if there's any hidden rooms. There isn't any mana. There's tons of mana. I need to throw it in the room for you. Okay, I'll move the toolboxes in there for you. Now do it. There we go. For some reason, the undead basically making magical toolboxes is them running on a treadmill. Which I don't really understand why, but I guess it's just something we've got to live with. A huge wave of heroes approaches. Okay, so it's every 10 there's a big wave. Let's pick up the units just so we can put them down when we need to. Why is it in the goblin farm again? Or the gobbler farm, I mean. Oh, there's north. Oh, it's in different places. Oh, no!
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Come on. Throw things around. Okay, that one's done. Go over here now. Looks like I'm going to need to put some vault doors down around there.
It's payday.
I need to improve my spells. Frostbomb's pretty good. As is Mana Shield. And a Magic Barrier. And Mana Bomb is excellent. Just gotta wait for the gold to come in. get rid of some of these just so I can get some more undead. I don't need to get rid of one because I think one died before. And get Banner Bomb. And let's send these guys out, just see if they can kill any more things up top. Get them some extra XP. They pretty much cleared it out except the bottom left. Yep, just some people left. Use all the manners to make the battle easier. It looks like that was the last of the heroes. Pretty sure I got the ones up here. Oh no, I did not. That's why I want a lot of mana, because the spells are great. Get rid of him just so I can get that priestess.
It's payday. Start upgrading everything.
turning these into the large mana shrines, it doesn't hold any more mana. It just allows 4 demons to work at once instead of 2. So taking up less space than if you were building 4 of them. And the harder this gets, the more mana I'm going to need. Speaking of which, improve the capacity of that. Oh, that lovely mana. Make my magic boxes quicker. Let's replace these doors with the magic vault doors, so it takes the heroes forever to get through. Gold veins almost depleted. I don't even need to go into the overworld anymore. I've cleared it out. This trap's pretty much pointless. Especially since I'm doing survival. The traps would be a lot better on skirmish and endless mode, because in endless mode you have these dungeon entrances as well as hero entrances, which are just kind of the same, just in different places. So you could follow them into a corridor. I don't think there are portals randomly in that. I haven't tried out that mode yet. There we go, lovely vault doors. Now we can just keep upgrading the demons. So now they have 65% more health, 27% more damage, and more players really matter, because that's just the spells that the evil can cast. So if I can pick up a demon, level 8, what can you do now? It's got 2300 health and 2 times 252 damage. Lovely.
Payday. In the meantime, several carnivorous penguins have begun to make their way into the Absolute Evil's dungeon. However, they would definitely not arrive before the end of this story.
Well, it's a good thing I know about those penguins beforehand. Maybe see them in Dungeons 4? Stop resting and get back in here. Wish there was a way to heal these guys outside of being in there. Yes, it's finally gone. Can I turn that into a tile? Yes, I can. I could use my rolling stone! That just stuns your units so it doesn't do any damage. But it does a lot to them, just like 2,000. Ah, that's beautiful. They finally went into the tunnel of doom. Ball still rolling? There it is. It goes out the mouth. Oh, it just gets destroyed on it. Gonna need to expand this out. Don't really want him, he's a low level mage. Rather just get the high level ones trained. Well, converted, I mean. No, I don't want these guys.
It's payday.
Put these ice crushers outside these doors. They also kill heroes that get to them. Can't pick up the mana. Oh, look at those muddy piles. Lovely. Let's get this pit thing going. You can be sold on the marketplace. There you go. And get Crowley. What's your name? Vomit. Okay, not Crowley. Where's the one with... is it you with this thing? Yeah. Can't remember how to take your tome off of you. So I'd like to give it to Vomit, because he does more damage, so the boost would be bigger. So what are you doing right now? Yeah, that'd be a lot better. See if you're sitting here. No. I remember it saying in the campaign you can take them off. Because I know you can swap them with other ones if you find them. So just have to wait until the next wave, see if anyone drops them. That was easy enough. It's the every 5 waves I need to be worried about.
It's payday.
Hello, Ace Spade 22. What's this game about? Well, the main campaign is you are taking over Talia.
My orders.
As she is a dark elf, she's mostly on the evil side. However, you have to corrupt her to become evil because she's being turned good by her adoptive father. And the main campaign is mostly her taking over the continent that she lives on. And you pretty much have to make a underground base and basically create rooms, recruit units, and take over the overworld, which you need to get to through these entrances. And then from there it turns from a simulator builder game into an RTS. I can throw some people out there just to show you. So you just pick up units, throw them into the entrance as they go outside, and it turns into a normal RTS game where you have them move around the map. Then you have them attack certain places like this. This used to be a hero worshipping place, so you would attack it, kill the heroes, and you would turn it into an island of evilness, which it is now. And that generates one of the currencies, which is evilness. And you can tell that at the top of the screen. That's generated every minute or so, and you need that to spend on upgrades, which is in the tech tree. So basically you can have more workers to mine out your dungeon and build your buildings. You can have more creatures in your army, as well as unlocking other things like the gobbler farm, which is basically your food. And then you'd want to go to the lecture hall, which allows you to unlock these upgrades, and then from there you're just upgrading everything. Right now I am playing the survival skirmish mode, and every 7 minutes portals open up in the dungeon, and I have to defend against heroes coming from Valhalla. And I've got to do that 20 times, which with each 5th wave being a much bigger one with 3 portals opening up randomly anywhere in my dungeon. Why are you enraged? Do you have food? Oh, these guys probably want beer. That's probably why they're not playing along. Have I not even unlocked the brewery? No, I haven't. I'll get that. 3x3? Yes, fine. You know, one for campaigns, but I'm not playing the campaign right now, so that's fine. This is the this is technically the sandbox play, because this is the skirmish mode it has, where you can just load up a map and play to your heart's content from skirmish, which is you have to defeat a hero on the overworld, which is a lot harder than normal. Well, you have to defeat a champion. Survival, which is what I'm doing now. We have to survive 20 waves of heroes, and then there is Endless, where portals keep opening up until you just eventually die, or you reach a point where you can no longer be killed. And there is... And then I go to the skirmish game where it's just, I have a load of gold and setup and everything. You guys are still stuck outside.
It's payday.
It's a bit awkward in that long corridor. The mana bomb's just staying there until they're being used. I could just line the walls of crushers in case they spawn in here again. Just have them automatically die. In this mode, I won the multiplayer game, I don't know if you saw that. This mode is survival in skirmish, so every 7 minutes a portal will open up in my underground where heroes will teleport in from Valhalla, and I basically have to defeat those heroes and the portals. Every fifth portal, or every fifth wave, 3 portals will spawn randomly in my underground, and I have to do the same for those, but they're harder. And as you go along, the waves get harder and harder as the enemies get to higher levels, as well as spawning in more of them. And you've got to do that 20 times to win. You still have the overworld, but once you've pretty much got it all under your reign, it's not really contested. You've just really got to defend your underground. They can appear anywhere. They can appear in my rooms, in the corridors, right next to the entrance. They appeared right here before. Every time I've got the 5th wave, they've always seemed to spawn in my goblet pen. It's just when they spawn on the corridors, it's a bit hard to fight them. That's why I'm just lining the walls with crushers. I could put some of these chests around. They spawn over here.
Payday.
That description of the spell, though. Making toolboxes out of thin air. And the huge wave is about to begin. My god, look at all those magic toolboxes. So let's pick up all my people. Well, not all of them, just some of them, because they will be 3 different portals. Oh, they were so close to spawning next to that. Guys aren't done, I need to destroy the portal. Ugh. Looks to be everything. I like how the heroes just fall for this. Then my demons just have a nice relaxing bath after fighting. I didn't know that they just had boots on them. I don't care about the novice.
Payday.
Next one I needed, I was working on a temple.
The sacrifice didn't coax a single god out of the clouds. Payday! The gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice.
Ah, I got to sacrifice things to get gold and beer, apparently. It says I can sacrifice the... I can summon the ultimate evil. How?
The gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice. Your dungeon is being overrun by bloodthirsty hamsters. Did you hear that squeak? I accidentally stepped on one. The gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice.
Why have I sacrificed some snots?
The gods were angry at the sacrifice.
Didn't like snots, so it just sends spiders at me. Like some low level demons.
The gods found the sacrifice okay.
I don't want skeleton archers. Take them back.
The gods found the sacrifice okay.
He's not gonna have each of the titans. But what if I sacrifice a titan?
The gods found the sacrifice
Really?
okay.
Really? I would have thought they'd find the titans a bit better of a sacrifice.
The gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice.
I need a bigger room for the hideout. Only because the ogre needs a bigger bed.
Payday.
Oh, right there.
The gods found the sacrifice. Okay.
And they gave me a goblin. Does he count towards my units? Seems like he does. What was that?
It's payday.
Oh, their worship. Okay, so I need to get some undead above level 5. And does this guy not count as undead? Does it need to be the banshees? Yeah, it probably has to be the banshees then. If he will count as one. He's undead. So I'll bring the banshees into the next fight and just make sure I mana shield them. Let's get these banshees and a few helpers. So then they'll get more XP. That should be enough. It's only a small wave of them. I can just spam spells to help them out. We've got 2 of them at level 3. Okay, they all got to level 3. The problem is, it was here where a load of other units were. Can't we just a speed up button for this? I'm ready for the next wave now.
Payday. The gods were more than satisfied with the sacrifice.
Ooh. Far-sighted. Alright, so now I can move things around with my amethyst. So give me that. And Crowley. It's yours. 612. Have this. 12, 1, 2, 2, 4. Damn, that is pretty much double. That's a beastly man.
Did you know that Dungeons is based on an iconic game with a similar name that was turned into a really miserable piece of mobile phone junk not long ago? No? Good for you. You didn't miss anything content-wise.
I don't think I've ever seen the fun game. I've seen some mobile games that are similar. Seconds still on that portal. I'll try and use less units this time to try and get the Banshees level 5. In which I need to get them now. There we go. Got them all to level 5.
It's payday.
Hopefully now they'll go prey. Crowley went up to 7. What's your damage at? Almost 2,000, jeez. You guys can just rest up in your Braves. I need to expand the research place because I need more scrolls. Why can't I do that? Okay, my traps just decided to disappear for a while. Oh, because, yeah, the scrolls will come out if there's no space, they'll just be on the ground, so they had to put them back in. Okay, that was it. Okay, so they need one more level, which they're not going to get because next time is the last wave, so I'm not going to be able to do this. I'll probably do it if I run an endless game.
Payday.
Throw me at the enemy.
Gonna have 3 portals this time, so split up the units, try and do it evenly.
Ah! Hey, keep your hands to yourself.
And that should be the last portal. Yep. And I think it's going to be it for Dungeons 3 today. Hopefully you got a good view. That's a lot of the mechanics you'll be learning through the campaign itself, as it gives you them like between 1 and 3 at a time. So thank you all for watching, and I'll probably see you tomorrow for Tales of Berseria. Or this. Probably Tales of Berseria though. So I'll see you all next time.